Hey, it's Carly Rae here, and welcome to my Hey, it's Carly Rae book club on YouTube. Today I am so excited because I am back to do another virtual book review on my channel. Now, before I reveal what book we're going to be talking about today on Hey, it's Carly Rae, you guys need to hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell to be alerted of all the new videos on my channel. And you guys can give this video a thumbs up. So, without further ado, the book we're going to be talking about today on Hey, it's Carly Rae is da-da-da-da! ER Nurses by James Patterson and Matt Eversman. Now, if you guys have your copy of this book, go and grab it and come back and join me to chat all about ER Nurses. Now, if you haven't read it, don't worry about it. This is a spoiler-free book review. And so I'm just going to be telling you about why you need to check out ER Nurses. Okay, I haven't said my star rating yet, but I will say this is a book you don't want to miss, and I'm going to tell you why now. So let's get started. So what is ER Nurses about? ER Nurses by James Patterson is a book unlike any others that he has written. Okay, I wish I would have gotten this book as soon as it came out. I absolutely don't know why I didn't after reading it. James Patterson is known for his thrillers and everything like that, but this book, I'm telling you guys, this took James Patterson's writing to a whole new level. What he did is he spent about, his chapters in this book are still short, like his signature style, but each book centers around a different nurse and what they've gone through and what they've done in saving people's lives and the hope, the struggle, and the pain that they've gone through. How he captured it, it's so raw and it was so, I don't know, like brilliantly done that I cannot say more good things about this book about why you need to read it. As you guys know, I read so many different genres, so many different books. And when I come across a book like this, I am just like passionate enough to tell you guys you need to check it out. Now, what I did in this book is I kind of like tagged a few different nurses' stories that really touched me, and the first one was Tara. She and what this book does, I don't want to give like too many spoilers away, but there is like a preview of like what each nurse, like Tara, she grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. It tells you she studied nursing on an ROTC scholarship and served 8 years in the military, deployed overseas, then worked for 21 years in the ER, and now she works as a school nurse. So what James Patterson did is he takes you through an experience she had that really stayed with her and everything like that, and you know, the struggles that she went through. And I don't want to give anything away, but like it says, like how she closes out her story was, although nurses are busy, we're doing the best we can, always trying to do more with less. Our hearts hurt for the people we can't get to right away and ache for the ones we can't save. And she was one that really stayed with me in the nurses in this book. Another one that really stayed with me was this nurse. She had a longer chapter, was Kelly. And I bookmarked her very last paragraph. It says, I may have forgotten her face, but I'll never forget her words. These are the moments you live for as a nurse. These are truly the moments you remember the most. And each story that these nurses have in this book is a story that will stay with you from ER, the trauma. James Patterson even did a section for like flight nurses where they actually go out on helicopters and they're right there on the scene, stabilizing the patients, taking them to ER. And one thing that really struck me in learning about nursing in this book was nurses don't know if their patients survive afterwards or like what happens to them. And it's kind of like a gift when they do hear from them and hear that, hey, I'm okay. And it, you know, makes them propel and want to keep doing it. So the great things that nurses have done, James Patterson really, really honored them and really did justice, I believe, to them and their stories. And again, ER Nurses, I can't say more good things about it. I think everybody needs to read it to see what nurses go through. You know, if you do go to ER after you read this, you're kind of like, okay, this nurse might have just had to face the death of a patient, and this is maybe why she's late, you know, or maybe one thing that I really liked in this book is when you're in the hospital, you know, sometimes you wait a long time. And in this book, the nurses tell you, like, sometimes it's not always a bad thing. Like, it's kind of a bad thing when we're there as soon as possible, because that means, you know, you're number one prioritized, and that means, you know, you're suffering the worst. So it kind of takes you in a whole new light. It's a very humbling book, and it humbles you to what others put themselves through and how brave they are to do that. I don't believe I would be able to do what these nurses do, so I'm honored and humbled to be able to read this book and read their experiences. So definitely check out ER Nurses if you're looking for your next read. It doesn't even need to be, if you're like, oh my gosh, I love mysteries or I really want romance, just pause it, and I definitely encourage you to read ER Nurses. It will change your reading and your life. Okay, so I put this on my Hey It's Carly Rae book club page, and I got so many questions. Now, a lot of you guys were asking me for my review, so my official review is a 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend reading this book. It is one of my all-time favorite James Patterson novels, and that takes a lot. As you guys know, I have like an entire shelf of his books, but this one was something different and so unexpected that you really, really, really need to read it. I don't believe you will be let down. And if you have read it, be sure to comment below. Let me know your thoughts, because I love to hear from all of you on what you thought of this book. Now, I am going to do today's Q&A. I selected 5 questions from all of you guys writing in, and I'm going to answer them. So the first one was from Kelly. She says, what was your favorite part about this book? All right, my favorite part, again, about this book was just how real and raw it was, and hearing and learning what nurses go through and what they have to face in a day. It's just astounding, and like I said, it's humbling to learn that people can actually do what they do and keep doing it. It was so brave, and I loved reading their stories. Brianna, hey Brianna. You said, did you have a favorite character? Again, these characters were actually based on real life nurses. Like I said, like Tara's, story. There were stories in there that really caught my attention and that I really enjoyed, and the ones that stayed with me. Now, I believe everybody, when you read this book, you're going to connect with a different nurse in this book, which I thought was so great. There's so many different stories out there and what they go through. So I believe there's a story that everybody can connect with. The next question is Nick. Hey, Nick. You said, do you think nurses will be able to connect with it? I hope so. They are stories based on real life nurses. I have a few friends that are nurses, and I recommended that they check out this book. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Now, if you are a nurse, you are watching this, you have read it, comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Brandon, hey Brandon. You said, was it the bravery or was it the stories that really got you? Well, the bravery is interwoven in their stories. The bravery comes from their stories and what they go through. So I believe it was both the sheer bravery that nurses have and what they're able to do and save lives and keep going and not, lose hope was something that was really, really powerful in this book. Sally, hey Sally, you said, were storylines where nurses dealt with COVID in this book? Yes, there were chapters where nurses had patients that had COVID, and we got to really see in that time of when COVID hit what these nurses had to go through. So that was something that was very powerful in this book as well, and that really stayed with me. And I've been telling everybody about this book to go check it out, the stories, what they've had to face, what these nurses faced and went through. So yes, those storylines were in this book. They were interwoven throughout. So that concludes today's Q&A for ER Nurses by James Patterson. I definitely recommend checking this book out. Again, I give it a 5 out of 5 star rating. Now, if you guys want to see more on ER Nurses, you guys can go to HeyitsCarlyRae.com, and you guys can connect with me on social media and chat about ER Nurses. You guys can follow me on Instagram at HeyitsCarlyRae or Hey It's Carly Rae Book Club. You guys can also go on Facebook on Hey It's Carly Rae, Hey It's Carly Rae Book Club, and I also have a group, Hey It's Carly Rae Book Club. I'm also on Twitter at Hey It's Carly Rae. I'm also on Pinterest at Hey It's Carly Rae, and I just started a virtual book club on bookclub.com. The link is down below. It's free to join. We meet up about once a month to do virtual chats about the book of the month, and we also do different chats on some books that I've read and enjoyed in the month. So I'd love for you guys to come in and join. If you guys have suggestions, you guys can go on there and message me as well. But I'd love to hear from you all. Again, this concludes today's book review on ER Nurses. Be sure to comment, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you've read it, and support a nurse today. Tell them, hey, thank you for what you do. It will definitely make a difference in their lives. I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye.